Episode of Northeast 360. Flying solo on this hike. My pup Lobo is having some serious hip issues, so it's just me out in the woods today, talking about hiking out in the woods. You know, as always, I'm wearing my normal gear, work clothes. This is how I go and work. As always, I've got my favorite hiking boots from Keen. I got my full gear on, vest and all, and we are at my favorite park. Now, I've always said a few of the videos that I've done here, they've all been in the winter time, and you know, not a lot to see, but I wanted to get a couple of shots of this place when it's still green and lush. It's the end of the summer, first couple of weeks in September, so there are still some decent flowers out and everything else, and we'll probably see some wildlife as we go. As always, I am, as anyone else hiking in the woods alone should have, some type of self-preservation device. You know, I'm coming out of work, so I've got my kinetic device on me, which is a Glock G45 with a Surefire TLR 1 XL, and it's got a HoloSun SCS red dot on it, and some Ameriglow high-vis night sights. So that's my kinetic device. But I also, one, because I'm coming from work and taking a break, because we had to do some hard stuff today, have some pepper spray, have some less lethal, especially if you're a hiker. Me, rabid animal, you're gonna have to take a rabid animal down. Big predator, yeah, you're most likely gonna need that kinetic device. But also, if you can spray it from a distance, preserve nature. I don't like taking an animal that I don't eat, but on trails, especially where I am, just outside of Boston, there are all kinds of predators, 4- and 2-legged. So it's always good to have some way of protecting yourself. So I'm gonna get up here to this stump. I'll show you the bag that I always carry with me. I did a review on it. I did a brief breakdown of its contents, and I still use it. It is still my go-to bag. It's in its glory and bliss. The pockets that I did have to add to get what I wanted, and that's what I hike with. It weighs roughly 20-25 pounds, fully loaded with water, food, stuff like that. My backup stuff. This is my hiking and bailout bag out of my truck when I'm working. But it serves double purposes, and it's a great bag. And it carries, everything I need for my 3-mile hike and more. The stuff that I have in this bag, you should see that video. It was a Maxpedition Jumbo Fat Boy, and it's great, man. It's a great bag. But this is the trail in all of its, or mostly in its glory, minus some flowers at this point. But it's a great trail. Oh, my phone's ringing. Hold on. Can't escape work, but yeah, I get calls all day long. It's a cool little spot here. Probably seen it if you watch any of my other videos. But it cuts to a little, kind of like a swampy area, because this is wetlands. It's the Blue Crane Trail. Goes from basically Boston, I believe, straight into Needham and potentially up to Wellesley. But it's a great hiking trail during the day. Super quiet, other than you get some traffic noise. There's 2 really noisy spots for traffic because we are right by the highway. It's the main entrance to the park. It's a small little parking lot. Old stone building and structure. You see that, you know you're in the right spot. Breaks out into a field, and it's a great place during the summertime. I mean, because it was dry, the ticks were everywhere, so we didn't hit this trail a whole lot. But you got bird feeders, bird houses. You can see hummingbirds here. It's very, very cool. But let's head off into the trail. It's actually a really great little picnic spot too. Head off onto the trail. It does get challenging. There's hills, there's dips. Further in, past the boardwalk, or your first boardwalk, if you do this trail till its end, it's roughly 5 to 7 miles. And we're just outside the first boardwalk. On a mountain bike, and I will tell you, it is challenging on a mountain bike. Further in, there's a pump track, and you can really get some speed, some good jumps, and turns, tight turns, corners. But this is one of my favorite places just to unwind and hike. Am I that guy that talks to himself in the woods? No, but I do a lot of deep thought. So, and just enjoy the air. So it is well marked. Make sure you know you're on the trail. And this is the beginning of the boardwalk. Little swampy area, mosquitoes in. Now this boardwalk, when we get to a certain point during the summertime, it is lined the whole way down with these beautiful pinkish purple, call it fuchsia flowers, and it is amazing. Now the boardwalk is pretty sketch in some parts, so you do have to pay attention to where you're stepping. I always say stay to the left side or the right side of the boardwalk, because that's where the underboards run in line with it. But there are collapsed sections, rotted out sections, and they replace them periodically. But we're gonna come up to where all the flowers are in about 2 seconds. You get lots of beautiful birch trees. You can hear that highway, as this is I-95 north to my left. But this is where you start to see the beautiful flowers. They're starting to go, unfortunately, but they're these beautiful, beautiful pink flowers. Then you have the cat nine tails, which are starting to puff out, but there's just beautiful wildflowers as far as you can go on this. I see some beautiful pink ones. I'll show you. And then there's signs of. And here's that question for all you hunters: what's that a sign of? It's a sign of an animal trail, and most likely, where they bedded down, there is a ton of deer here. A ton. There's some beautiful purple flowers. And I'm telling you, when it's the heart of summer, it is just amazing. So we're gonna get into the tall grass now. And there's a lot more flowers and stuff up ahead. But all this green, low-lying green, are all the, I don't know, bushes, I would say. But we'll see it. There's still some flowers left. And then it's just tall grass for as far as you can see for a while, so you get back into the woods. Now, why should you hike? It's a good question. One, it's peaceful. Even, this is not like a rush, power run through the woods. A lot of people clear their head that way. But I'm a big dude. And I'm in a profession that I shouldn't be a big dude. So we're working on it. COVID hit the house. I was doing really good. I was losing a lot of weight. And then COVID hit, and then work kicked up, and life happens, but there's always time. There's always time. Whether it's 15 minutes, just do some sit-ups, or take your 30, go for a hike, walk. You gotta be a human being. You can't just sit your whole life. You weren't meant for that. And I'll tell you, I go all over the state, but I'm mostly in Boston and Quincy and the South Shore. And what's going on? People just don't realize, because everyone's got those blinders on, They got the blinders on, and they don't see because they're in their phone. You're probably, maybe even in your phone right now, watching this video. And I want to tell you, get your head out of your phone and keep going. But, be a human being, get some exercise, see this planet before it's totally fucked. I'm out here in the middle of my work day. It was a hard start. Clear my head, talk to you all. So this is what they call the pump track. Some nice S curves around. You get some small jumps. You got more big S curves. And there's a huge loop here with some relatively big jumps. Somebody built a little fire pit. Not a great idea in this dry environment. But keep on trucking. Last time I was here, there was a bunch of beautiful, like, goldenrod. You can see that's the purple line. This trail breaks off into two spots, and you can go under the commuter rail through a little bridge tunnel and keep on the blue trail, or you can keep going straight with the power lines, which takes you over to the river, and that's where we're going today. Because when we're done, it's about 3.5, 4 miles. Some more beautiful wildflowers, some bees. So there's the access road to the highway. Some more beautiful wildflowers. Beautiful goldenrods out in the back, and then this whole area is all wildflowers. When this is here, it's all like white and pink and yellow. Pink flowers. Big plume. And one day they'll figure out smell-o-vision, but it is like uber nature, the smell right now. Just all these wildflowers. It's like you were walking through cologne factory, really. That's the best way I could say it. All those beautiful yellow flowers. But it is truly beautiful here. Mind that little hum of the highway. Bumblebees out doing their jobs. We're out doing our job. And some exercise. Working with the bees. So we're right up by where you can take a turn. If you turn left, and there is no signs to mark it, unfortunately. One day maybe they will. This is where a lot of people get confused. They think the trail, if you just keep going straight, you're still on the trail. You're not. You are on a trail. You're on the power line, high tension line trail, and traffic road, so that they can inspect the railway and these high tension wires. This little crossroad here leads to a bridge for the train and a tunnel. Beautiful flowers. This tunnel, we have two paths. If you go right, the smaller path takes you into kind of like an inlet. I'm not going to go to it today because there is a large homeless camp in here. Stay out of here. Alright, so don't go right on that path. If you go left is going to take you to this tunnel. This tunnel will keep you on the trail. And that takes you all the way out to a huge lake. It's probably some of the toughest mountain biking and hiking trails, local, that you can get. When it is raining, and it's had good rain, this whole area is kind of a sloppy mess. That's why I love these Keen boots. They just hold up to it, but it'll wreck some people. Like, the mud's deep. There's makeshift little bridges up until you get into the Needham section of the Blue Herring Trail, and it's just right back to gorgeous again, and you get to the lake. But we're not going there. We're going to keep going straight, and we are going to go to the river. So stay tuned. I'll show you what the river looks like. Oh, look at these. I didn't see these yet. Beautiful flowers. And the deer, if you get up on one of these steps at a certain hour, right around the 5 o'clock, you'll just see them running through here. I mean, my estimate is probably like 14 to 25 in this area that I've seen, usually in groups of like 7 or 8. But it is beautiful. Wow, look at these. Now that is something. Now, my walks always double as another term that you should think about is getting out of Dodge, bugging out, getting to safety, an area that is less traveled, whatever you want to call it. Sometimes that's going to be in a vehicle. Great if it is. You're getting out in luxury. But 90% of the time, especially for me and my wife, we're in the city, it gets gridlocked. Unfortunately, I'm parking the Jeep and getting the hell out on foot, because you'll never make it out of a city. You know, during COVID, and the marches that turned into riots here that really didn't make the news all that much, but like Newbury Street in Boston, we were guarding businesses and keeping them safe, and they're bashing out the windows, beating each other half to death in the streets over what somebody else stole, ransacking, destroying everything. And here I am, armed, full gear, making sure no one's going to break into this person because they could afford the security. And then at the end, getting so bad, the National Guard comes to clear areas. Those poor bastards, they weren't even armed. Have fun, right? Fucking scary times, people. And the decisions that are made during these scary times means you need to be prepared. You're prepared to truck a distance, whether it's an emergency or my crappy ass car died. I got no money on me to take a cab or an Uber. Hence why I'll drive a busted ass car in the first place. How are you getting home? If there's no one to pick you up, how are you getting home? You know what your vehicle is? Those. Your feet. And whatever you can carry on your back. That's it. That's all you got. So what do you got in your vehicle? It gets you home. That's why they call these get home bags, bailout bags. It's extra gear. It's gear that you don't necessarily have to carry on you every day, but it's there for that emergency. I've got water, I've got food, I've got shelter, emergency tarps, cordage, extra mags for my kinetic tool. You know, certain words, algorithms pick you up like you're evil or something. And you're just trying to, it's one small way, inspire people to be more prepared. I said, this is Northeast 360. It's everything. It's everything that has to offer. That's cool. More really beautiful flowers. Blue ones are just outstanding. I hope it comes in on the color of the camera. We'll try and add some photos at the end of this trail in different parts of the year, but it's damn worth the hike. This is fun to me, and it's also fun to so many others, and it's nice to share because there are so many people, especially today in these times. Everyone's working from home. A lot of people are back to work, back to the office, moving anyways a little bit, but so many people are at home sitting on their desk. They're taking their 15 minutes, 20 minutes, hour lunch, find something local, get some fresh air, even if you just stand there, just listen to the breeze. Listen to what that breeze does through the tall grass. I tell you, your anxiousness, your worries, even if it's just for a second, and sometimes that's all it is, guys. It's a little relief in your day. It's therapy, man. It's the best you can. So guess where we are? We're at the river. You got ducks, geese, swans are here. 1,000 times I've seen swans here. You have another park, Millennium, just over this train bridge that people do travel on. But look at that. It's just gorgeous here. It's a great time to take a break, hydrate, while seeing ducks feeding. And it's nice because the river, we got that rain all over, and it rained for 3 days, so the river's back up and you can actually see it. It was really low. Even in the distance, I don't know if it's picking it up on camera. You even got people fly fishing. It's a quiet gem here. Do the local wilderness a favor. Don't throw your dog crap, bottles that you just drank and hydrated from, your coffee. The planet isn't going to take it any much longer. And then places like this, you know, probably because of me and others videoing it, they'll shut it off from everyone. Pick up your trash, everyone. Don't be pigs. Don't leave trash. That's why I drink out of a stainless steel bottle. Gorgeous. So I'm gonna let the camera shut off for a minute. I'm gonna take my hydration out of my reach behind and grab my Nalgene. So this Nalgene bottle is fantastic. It's not insulated. so you can use it as a cooking container. It's really hard to open one-handed. Survival situation. There's a little device you can just pop in, and you can hang it from a tripod of sticks. You can boil water. You can heat water up for some freeze-dried food if you got that out hiking. I do have a GSI canteen cup that this fits in. It is a fantastic pair. It's one more way I can stay out longer. I had one subscriber. I say, well, what about the top? Won't that melt? I didn't demo it, and I should have demoed it, or I should have added it to the video, but it comes off. And you can even use this to hang from the tripod, provided you keep it far enough away, because the other side comes off too. It just slips off. And you can hang it. Super durable. I like it so much that everybody in the house is getting one. And it doesn't leave a taste to your water. Like those aluminum water bottles, I always taste like aluminum. I hate the taste of aluminum. But this thing, it's rock solid. I've dropped it a few times, so it's not straight anymore. It takes a beat. It really does. It's Northeast 360 approved survival and hiking gear. That's for sure. I'll leave a link to it in the video. Grab it while you can, because as we head out of here, talk some more about the world. I mean, you got, now they're talking about Amtrak train strikes. Nothing in this country works, gets used or delivered without hitting a harbor, a train, or by truck. Very few things come by plane. Alright, and that's why it's always expensive. FedEx, 24 hours. Oh, it's going to get from California here in 24 hours? Well, it's on a plane. And that's why you get that $75 charge. But you need that thing. Well, you're not delivering 7,000 gallons of diesel fuel, heating fuel, and gas from a plane. It's not happening. And they're talking about the hardest winter. Brace for it, people. We keep on this path, it's gonna get real emotional. Okay, so the camera died, overheated again. I'm on my phone, so there is like no stabilization at all built into this thing. But I saw these cool flowers while we were riffing away. Like little yellow bells. I love this Galaxy Note because it's so easy for me to zoom in on something. So we were talking about all these people and the way society's going, and what I'm preparing for. I mean, you have big companies safeguarding themselves, buying up all the farming land so they don't go hungry and hedge against inflation. All this stuff is because the writing is on the wall. All of the fighting. I mean, you look at Ukraine, it looks like 1940, World War II. Burned out buildings, people dead on the streets. When you start to see places like the Vatican taking all their money and moving it to one place, securing their wealth. You see people in Congress making backdoor deals, and their loved ones are buying up the stock. It's so that they don't feel what we're about to feel. The only people suffering, and that are going to suffer, are the middle and lower class, because these people can hedge against inflation. So that's why I'm getting prepared. So I always have kept emergency supplies. I live in New England. We get blizzards constantly. I've been stuck in blizzards. Gotta be prepared. One is getting healthy. That's what I'm trying to do currently. It's been a fight. It's been a battle. But I'm not going to lose. I'm going to get there. How do people like us, who don't have $1 million businesses, that are working to pay the bills, how do you do it? How do you hedge? How do we make it? Well, we stock up on what we can. It's food. You know, you're getting PSAs from the government on what to do in a nuclear explosion, what to do in biohazard, what to do in this. Why? Because everybody forgot that was a threat. Always has been. You know, when I went through my law enforcement training, you know, they talked about all of this: terrorist attacks, response. But to the whole world, everyone got complacent. Can't happen here. You know, 9/11 happened. It's a small breach of that. The whole world came together. 21 years later, everyone's back to the way it was. It's dangerous way to be. I don't mean panic, go out and buy a whole bunch of stuff, but you know what? The pandemic hit, and all of a sudden, you go to a store and you can't buy toilet paper. How do you hedge against that? You gotta have some in the house. Same thing with food. God, the flowers are cool. So how do we hedge against inflation? When I said food, you know, they say have 3 weeks of food. And that sounds like a lot. No, have 3 months, 6 months. Start with 3. Extra stuff. 3 weeks worth of food. Let's look at 10 pounds of rice, 10 pounds of beans, a case of canned chicken. You can survive off of that easily. Now times that by 3. And when you get to those milestones, you add something new. Hey, you know what? I'd like to try this freeze-dried food. Put that in the mix. I'll tell you, you can get those ramen bowls that have some freeze-dried vegetables. It's not a ton. It's just as unhealthy as it is healthy, but it'll keep you alive. And it's also something that doesn't taste like crap. All right, 3-4 cases of water, 48 counts on hand, because you aren't going to be the person in 3 days that doesn't have any water. but it gives you a cushion to be able to hunt out for it. Okay? But if we're all locked in our houses, see China doing that left and right, we're all locked in our houses. I got food, I got toilet paper, I got water, I got garbage bags. We can handle it. We can make it. But with this phone, I'm by the highway now, so it'll get way too loud. But I'm gonna end my video here instead of ending it on the way out. But I'm gonna add a bunch of pictures, some of this place through the seasons, and some with my little buddy in it, because he couldn't come with us right now. Hopefully he gets better. We're working on it. He'll be back on the trail just like me. So this is Christian from Northeast 360 with my little deep thoughts in the woods. Keep moving forward. That's what I always say. This is Christian from Northeast 360. Like, comment, share, smash that bell. Hopefully we'll have more videos out here for you.